Welcome back to the ReEducation Camp podcast. Karen O'Toole and Colin Miller here, fresh off the Christmas holiday, little Christmas vacation, we'll call it. We won't talk about us having a nervous breakdown and not appearing for a week,
Well, I
but we
had a
will.
nervous
Yes,
breakdown, not
yeah,
so much
yeah.
you. It's
It's
usually
okay. I
always
talked you
me.
through the nervous breakdown. It was all good. It was all good. But the holidays have come and went. Well, the Christmas holiday has come and went. And it seems that you are in a much better mood. It seems like you are a little bit more upbeat. So how was your Christmas? I think it seems like you enjoyed it.
Well, first of all, I would like to make a correction, Karen. I am totally anti this notion that Christmas stops after December 25th, because
Amen. The
as we
Epiphany.
know, there are 12 days of Christmas.
Yes, yes.
And if you're a Christian, then the Christmas season goes until the Epiphany, which is December 6th. Am I right?
I believe so. Well, my or January 6th, January 6th or 7th, I will say that one of my friends, a crazy aunts, but cool crazy aunt, she like couldn't give them a
One
gift.
of
And she
those.
goes, Christmas is a season, not just a day, it's a season. And I just love that
W
quote.
Ant.
So yes,
W
yeah,
Ant.
W aunt. She was like, Christmas, I think she like didn't get to make what she wanted to make because she was sick. So she was telling them she was going to give it to them a little bit later. And I'm always in favor of that. I'm always in favor of not being on time. That is one of my qualities, I will say. I'm going to call it a quality, that sometimes things arrive late and you have to give them late. And
Sometimes podcasts arrive
I
late.
arrive late.
Sometimes
Yeah. So,
podcasting partners
yes,
arrive late
yes,
by
yeah.
like an hour or two, but it's no big
But
deal. We work through these
yeah,
things
yeah.
because we're professionals.
Well, I just mean in like, if somebody gave me, so I ordered my husband something, for instance, at the beginning of December. It's not going to be here till January. That is still a Christmas gift to me. I do not care when it
Hell
comes, if it
yeah.
arrives later. I'm not worried about that. Now there are times when, if you're going on a plane, you should be on time. There are times a doctor's appointment, it's good to be on time. I'm not advocating for being late. I'm just saying that to me, I do not get upset about these things. I talked to somebody, I sent out thank you cards for my wedding many years ago when I got married. And I decided, I was told that you have like a year or something like that to send out the cards. So I got married in late May. I sent them out, my thank yous, as Christmas cards. So thank you, tandem Christmas card. But I had people thinking that like, somebody said to me, they're like, oh, I didn't even think you were going to send them, because like, oh, I guess you have to send them. So I
What
sent
do
them,
they have to arrive
I
by
sent them
like
5 months after my wedding. Oh no, this is not the craziest wedding thank you story I've ever heard. Friend of ours got married a year after us. Her grandmother is Italian. She got back from her honeymoon and said, when am I getting my thank you card? She had just gotten back from her honeymoon. Yeah. And the grandmother was already like angry that she didn't get a thank you card. If you send me a thank you card 3 years late from your wedding, if you don't send a thank you card at all, I'm not
she,
worried about these formalities.
she
But
should
there
have
are
been writing it out like
psychos.
while the marriage was being consummated. Like
Yes.
she should have like
Yeah.
done it
Yeah.
then
Hold on,
and
hon. I got it.
yeah,
Yeah.
lick the
But I'm just
stamp.
saying, like, if you got married next year and you never sent me a thank you card, I wouldn't even notice. Like, there's something wrong with people that they sit around waiting for these thank you cards and waiting for these formalities. It's
They're
like,
mental
get a
patients.
life, okay? Get a life. I
I
mean,
agree.
I like sending thank you cards. Like, I'm not saying anti thank you. I send Christmas cards. I sent you and Shadow a Christmas card. I get so much joy from sending Christmas cards. I know a lot of people don't do that anymore, but I'm a very antiquated person. I love. I'm a little anachronistic, so there's something about sending and writing and sending out physical Christmas cards that actually gives me a lot of joy. Like, I enjoy sending them to people. I have a cousin that lives in the Netherlands. I love going to the post office and asking for an international overseas stamp. Like, it's just part of the Christmas holiday for me now. But I don't get angry that other people don't send me cards. Like, that's crazy. But anyhow, sorry. The point
No,
is,
no, you're fine. I was
Christmas
thinking,
is a season. It's not a day, it's a season. How beautiful is that?
and I was just gonna say, I was thinking about sending Christmas cards, but here's the deal. There's not like a picture I can include, you know? What's it gonna be like?
You should have,
Here's me with my new Fender Stratocaster and my cat. Like,
you know, it's so
I'm
funny. So
35.
my husband and I did send, we sent out photos last year with just the two of us because my brother does photography. And I did it more as like a thank you, just for people to see us because I had gotten really sick and it was just more like, hey, I'm alive, you know, we're doing good, we're thriving. But my brother dog sits this beautiful golden retriever, and I had asked him if I could like get a pic. Like I jokingly said, like, if I pay you, could we get pictures with the dog that you watch? And I really like said to him, like he could have a side business, like these fake, like you could just send it because like you said, having a pet kind of completes because I don't have a child. So I feel like I need a pet to complete the photos to send them.
Yes,
Like
you
you
do.
need a child. I mean, that really just it's very glaringly obvious when you're like, there's no child. It's like there's not even an animal. It's like, what's wrong with you
Yeah,
people?
people
You
start like
freaks.
asking questions and things amongst themselves.
Yeah.
You know that they do that. You
Yeah.
know,
I'm like,
it's
I'm
just
taking
human
care of
nature.
a liver and a kidney. That's what I'm taking care
Right.
of.
You have special
You've,
circumstances going
yes.
on.
Yeah. I get the Trump card. I get that little card. I get to like guilt trip people. But like I said, so my brother actually, I think was inspired by me trying to hijack this poor dog. He actually sent out, he got photos with the dog and sent out a Christmas card, just him and the dog together. And it was like really funny. And we all saved, even like my sister saved it. Like we all saved this Christmas card because it was hilarious. So I actually think it'd be really, really funny for you to do. Like you could send it to people that would appreciate it. Like your mom would think it was funny. I would think it was
Sure.
funny. Your cousin would
Yeah.
think it was funny. Like you should just do it
That's
next
about
year.
all I
Just
can
as the
send it to though. Those are like the people who you just
send it to
listed.
my mom too.
Yeah, your mom would get a kick out of it. I have
Yeah.
a few friends whose addresses I don't even know,
Well,
who
yeah, you should
might
do
get a
that
kick out
next
of it.
year. You should.
Yeah.
I love this. You
Maybe I'll
should
be
completely
married
do
next year,
this.
Karen. Who knows? I mean, anything
I,
could happen. Life is
I
rife with possibilities, you
possibilities.
know?
It does feel like that. This time of year really makes you feel as if like anything could happen in the next year. Like you get all this excitement.
Like a
I just like the
nuclear
way you did that
explosion.
because
Like a nuclear
like
bomb
Putin
goes
will
off.
finally take care of things. Um,
I'm going to be going
yeah,
over there to Moscow for the Orthodox Christmas Day Mass at the
that's got to be
invitation
really,
of
really
President Putin,
interesting.
actually.
I have a friend who has been in Ukraine for some Christmas celebrations for the Orthodox Christmas, and even where we're from in the coal region of Pennsylvania, we have. I remember there were some kids that went to school with me who actually celebrated the Orthodox Christmas, and I always thought like I want to adopt that and actually get I would like to get off work, like kind of like the Jews get the month of October off. Like I want to
Yeah,
get
they
off
have a
from the
lot of dates in
24th
October.
to the 7th of December. I want the whole time off. But and to me that is the Christmas season. Like I leave my tree up. I like to sometimes leave. Sometimes if I'm feeling like I really just want to get things going, I'll take it down January 1st,
Oh no,
but
don't do that.
typically I try to, yeah, I gotta water it. We had a little bit of some issues with the the
That's
water
right.
getting on our
You have a
wood
legit
floors.
tree.
Yeah.
That's
So, and
right.
we've had it since before December 1st. So
Ooh.
it's been a little while. So,
See,
and
I have
well,
a beautiful artificial tree that I could leave. I could leave it up year round if I want. I mean, I've thought about decorating it for like Valentine's Day,
yeah,
St. Patrick's Day. I could do like
Halloween.
all green lights, maybe.
Yeah, maybe you
You
just
know,
should. Yeah, just a little
could turn into a
something.
thing.
But
Hey, did
yeah,
you?
what?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna ask.
No.
Did you get anything special, specific for Christmas that you were asking for, or anything that you needed, anything
No.
that stood out at all?
No, my husband got me a really nice UGG throw, like the boots that the kids wear, like the Thots wear. They wear like
The
the little
thoughts. Yeah,
Uggs.
you're accurate. Yeah.
but they make really, really nice blankets, and my brother had one and I really wanted one. So my husband got me that, which was very thoughtful. I'm not really big on gifts. I'm just like, can I just buy it myself and just get exact? See, I'm very hard to shop for because I'm
As am
hard
I.
to shop for, like, even for myself. I don't even know what I want exactly. Like I spend a lot of, like, when I go to buy something, spend a lot of time researching it, figuring out exactly what I want. I go on Reddit, I read like all the reviews. It took me like 4 years to buy a pair of boots. Okay. Like, I do a lot, I do extensive, obsessive contemplation on exactly what I want. So it's really futile for anybody to even waste their time. Like, I did tell my friend recently, he's a big reader and he thought about getting me a book. I'm like, yes, get me a book because I need kind of the peer pressure to read. And
I
I
need that
love
now too.
books. Yeah, I love books. And books are like, they don't need to be the right size. And my particular friend I'd completely trust to give me a good book to read. He always has. Um, and books are like, I can kind of read it, and if I don't like it or just whatever, who cares? Like, it's fine. Whereas, like, yeah, there's so many things where I hate when people like buy me something I need and then like I'm stuck with like the wrong color thing, and then like I can't go buy myself what I actually wanted because like I have these plates that this person bought me. But I'm actually kind of beyond that. I'm just kind of like, too bad, I don't want these. Like,
And when people ask you what you want for Christmas, it's like it's almost no point because what are you going to do? Like tell them like, "Okay, buy this specific thing." Well, that's dumb because like presents are
yeah.
supposed to be part of the fun is that it's supposed to be a surprise.
It's a price,
So
yeah. I don't feel like I like surprises.
it
I
depends
like
upon
surprises, but here's the thing, Colin. I am a control freak.
you
I want
are.
to curate everything. I want it to be exactly the way I want it to be. When I had my bridal shower, I only had my sister in my wedding. I planned everything, and she wasn't even there. She was on a work trip. She was my maid of honor, and she's like, I have to go on this work trip, is that okay? And I was like, yeah, that's fine, I don't even care. Like,
Okay
so
then.
I'm saying, like, I had no bridesmaids because like I just didn't want to deal with it. Like, I was like, I'm not corralling cats, like I'm not telling people what to do, and I'm not having them do what they want to do. Like, we're doing what it's my wedding, I'm doing what I want to do.
I wish I could have like a big father of the bride wedding. Have you ever seen the
I've seen
first
the
movie
movie.
with Steve
Yeah.
Martin?
Yeah.
Like there's
Hmm.
something very endearing and romantic about that whole wedding, how they had it at the house and there was the big tent.
Yeah, that
Like
is so
I
cool.
but
Yeah.
it's like who would come? You know what I
I
mean?
will
Like the
be
fam
there.
everybody yeah, you'll be there, but like the family's dead. I mean, there's not going to be any grandparents there or any like it would be a
Yeah.
very a limited engagement, but there's people who are probably listening who are saying, "Well, like that's preferable actually. Like what's wrong with
Yeah.
that?"
Yeah.
So you
Because I
kind
had
of
to have over 180 people at my wedding just because I have so much family. So it's
because you're
kind of nice. Yeah. There's too
you're a
many.
busybody.
Yeah. I'm a busy.
That's what
Yeah.
it is.
But that's like you said, like, with the gift giving, it's like, I don't know. I have received, I mean, I received two organs. They were really good gifts.
What do you need those for
What do
though?
I
I
need?
mean,
But I'm saying, like, I I don't know. I don't know. I just am really, my brother Patrick is actually a really good gift giver. Like, he bought me a, like, it's kind of crazy. We're 13 months apart, but like anything he's ever bought me just nailed it. And like, he even bought me a jacket the one time that was like, it blew my mind that he was able to pick out an article of clothing for me that I actually liked. Like, I was like, really, really, he's very, very good at giving gifts. And like, my husband is really good at giving gifts too, but I think I just maybe buy myself what I want. So like,
is
and
your
I think he
brother
doesn't have to.
Patrick? Is he the one with the drive jacket, the Ryan Gosling?
No, that's Matthew. No,
Okay,
Matthew expects me to buy everything for him. He doesn't buy
I see.
gifts. He actually, funny story. So I have a 16-year-old brother. He really wanted to go to Manhattan. We took him to Manhattan for Christmas. I did the whole New York City Christmas. Long story with that, but while we were on the trip, our brother, who is 24, got us the subway rides. So he like paid for us to go on all the subway. We went on the subway a few times. So my brother Matthew, who's 16, he said to me, like, I got him kind of like a gag gift. And but then I said, like, well, your Christmas gift was going to New York City. That's what I got you. So then he wanted a video game. And he asked my brother, he calls me and goes, Karen, did you buy the trip to New York City? And I'm like, well, I paid for the ferry. I bought the pizza. I drove you. Like I did all these things. And he goes, well, what about Sean, my brother who paid for it? He's like, how much were those subway trips? Like, how much did he really spend on me? Because I need to know if he can buy me this video game. I'm like, didn't you get a
Wow,
gift
that's
card to games?
ballsy.
Like my younger siblings I think they just look at us like us older siblings, like we
Cash
are just
dispensers.
like we're ATMs, like we're just there to just spend money on them. And that is what we're there to take them places and spend money on them. And like, we're kind of like their grandparents, like in a
I
way,
was just gonna
grandpa.
say
Yeah.
that was my dad's mom in a
Yeah.
nutshell.
Yeah.
She would take me to the pizzeria as a kid in Summit Hill, the
Hmm.
like the old pizzeria. I'm
Wow.
talking,
Yeah.
early to mid 90s. And I remember I would play the Jurassic Park pinball machine there.
Nice.
And I was actually looking online recently. Like these
You
are
were
the
trying to buy
things.
one.
Yeah, instead of being an adult and researching like different investments that I can make in the new year and things for the house, I'm looking at pinball machines that my grandmother used to take me to play when I was like 4 or 5 years old. So I'm trying to morph into a more of a an adult
Yeah.
mindset, so to
Yeah.
speak, in
Are
2025.
Okay, so are you setting any New Year's resolutions?
Really,
what are your
my
thoughts?
Okay, listen, my only New Year's resolution is to be more consistent with actually like working out, like actually make it a real habit, not just say that you're going to do it. Actually
And not
put in the
injure
time.
yourself.
It's like 2 weeks. Does it take to form a habit? Is that
I
it?
think it's actually, I've heard a lot of people say 7 days. I've heard a week. Now you just said 2 weeks. It's actually, I
Probably a
believe,
year.
40 days. It's
Oh my
40
God.
days.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a long
So,
time.
so no, it's like 7 days is not enough to start a habit. Like 40 days is where the sweet spot is for
I
things
bet
to like
if I
actually
took up
stick.
smoking though, I could get hooked on that like a lot
I
sooner
could take
though.
if I just took fentanyl for 2 days, I'm pretty sure I could make
Yeah.
this a habit. Like I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
right. Why is that so easy to make a habit?
Yeah, why are the easy things? That's a good point. Like, why are the simple things the addictive thing? I guess it's just our reward systems in our brains. Like I think I mentioned to you about listening. I actually knew you so well. I told Colin like the last time we spoke, I was like, you should read this book called Dopamine Nation by Anna Lemke. And I was like, okay, actually, just, you don't have to read the book. Just not even listen to the book, just listen to some interviews with her. I won't even make you commit to a full book or audiobook. I was just like, listen to some interviews. But she talks a lot about dopamine. She's like a neuroscientist or something. I don't know. Who cares? She studied the brain. She went to Stanford. I mean,
Right.
at this point, like pseudo president, pseudo comedian, pseudo expert,
Right. It's
pseudo
all pseudo.
doctor.
It's a
RFK
pseudo
Jr. is
nation.
supposed to be like a doctor or something. Like, I don't even understand. Everything is pseudo. I'm a pseudo expert in a lot of things at this point. But she talked a lot about, so in her book, Dopamine Nation, she spoke about, obviously talked about dopamine, talked about, she outlines like a couple different, um, she would work with addicts. So she describes these different people and their respective addictions in the book. But she talked about dopamine, and really what's going on is like things like fentanyl, things like cigarettes, things like having my little Starbucks or whatever. This actually isn't Starbucks, but like it has Starbucks creamer in it. But sugar, little treats, Facebook, Instagram,
Little
TikTok,
treats.
et cetera, et cetera. It's just like a cheap version of dopamine. You don't really feel any resistance. It's like immediate, and it's like a slot machine. Like immediately you go on TikTok and it's like, what am I gonna get? Like so. Whereas something like exercise, I'm sure besides the time you injured yourself, but I'm sure there
Which
hasn't been
was
any
recent.
time where you've exercised and you didn't feel good and content and like happy you did it afterwards. But you have like
Absolutely.
that resistance at the beginning. Anytime you do something that you know it's going to be reward, or like cooking a meal, it's rewarding, but it's like it's not cheap. It's not a cheap dopamine. It's an
Right.
expensive dopamine that's going to take up like a lot of your effort and willpower to get. But once you get to the other side or you get into it, it's worth doing. But it's so much easier to
Or
just,
like a bank heist, like hatching like
yeah,
the perfect scheme to like
yeah.
rip off a bank or a corporation. That's also that you have to put in a lot of effort
You
for
have to,
that.
but you understand. So it's like, it's so much easier to just, okay, let me just grab my phone that's readily available and some kind of little tree and just, and that, I have to say, I've never set a New Year's resolution in my, even if I have, I've completely forgotten about it. Like, have you ever actually done a New Year's resolution?
Not really. If I'm being honest with myself, not really. I mean, what's the percentage of people who actually make an honest to God New Year's resolution and then
I
stick
mean, it
with
can't
it?
be high. I have a
No.
friend, actually somebody that you know, is a former colleague of yours.
A
She,
radio colleague.
yes, a radio colleague. She
Ah.
sets New Year's resolutions and she doesn't tell anybody about them. Like she doesn't tell anyone what the resolution is, but she
Hmm.
sets them and she's I don't not I'm sure if you talk to her, I'm sure there's a few years where she did not follow through completely with them, but she sets New Year's resolutions like every year and is very, very intentional and serious about them. And I guess I don't even feel any pressure to set a New Year's resolution. Do you feel pressure to set a New Year's resolution? We've completely given
No.
up. We
I
have no, no, I'm kidding.
I feel no, we haven't really completely given up if we're being honest.
No, yeah.
I feel like things are moving in a positive direction
Just love and light.
just
2025 is about
naturally.
love and light. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 2025 is about vibes and about
And yeah.
feelings
Yeah.
and about just kind of being present in the moment and enjoying enjoying each breath that you take,
We'll
knowing
check
it
in.
could
We're
be
gonna
your
check
last.
in a month, see how this
We'll see if
goes.
this
But
attitude sticks,
yeah, this sticks. It'll be like next week, it'll be like,
this
no, 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 no.
whimsical attitude.
Yes,
It'll probably
yeah.
change when I like the first day of work, which is
Yeah, pretty
Thursday.
much.
I go back January
Oh,
2nd.
have
I'm
you
still
been
off for a
off?
while. Oh
You've been
yeah.
off. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah. I've been
See,
off since
I
yeah.
I work in a job that I should be off for a month. Like there is no reason for me to actually be working, but I do not work for a normal person. So I'm not going to get into that because of privacy reasons.
Yeah,
But
HIPAA.
I will be working tomorrow. I worked Christmas Eve. I did some work on Thursday. I worked today because there are demands and there are needs that need to be met. And there are voids that need to be filled. And I have to help fill those voids or be a tool to reach those that filling. Somebody needs external validation on a constant basis and cannot act normally around other individuals and family members. So, okay, that's a little bit more. I need to rein it in because I
Yeah,
really
because you might
can't say.
reveal
I might reveal a little bit
you might
more than I
reveal a bit
need
too
to. Yeah.
much. Got to be
But
careful
it's
there.
sad. I mean, it's sad. It should be a happy time. It should be a time to take off. But it seems that the people that have the luxury to do those things do not have the propensity to do it's like something keeps them from like they can't face themselves, so they have to constantly be filling time with all with things and with work, because if they
Yes.
just actually relax and just face themselves, they would collapse, or all hell would break loose. But enough about that. New Year's resolutions. Um yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm always trying to set unrealistic expectations on myself.
Yeah, you know what my
It's just
problem is? I want to go when I decide I want to do something, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the most extreme like if I decide I'm gonna eat better, for instance, it's like I'm going
yeah.
on a strict paleo diet and I'm only gonna eat
Yeah, you're like,
steak.
I'm gonna be
It's
carnivore like Jordan Peterson
yeah,
and his
right.
daughter who looks like she
Yeah.
eats real food.
Yeah, who is an advocate of these H-1B visas that we're going to mention here in a little bit because
Oh
it is a
no,
big
I didn't know
controversy. We
that.
have to talk about
Oh.
it.
They're
But
from Canada. Why
yeah,
do they even have a say?
that's what makes
Jordan,
this so difficult.
Jordan, shut your mouth,
Yeah,
okay? Go
but
back to Canada.
what was I going to say though? Yeah, my problem is I jump to extremes. It's like if I decide I'm going to start working out, it's like, okay, I have to be like a maniac. And it's like, no, just you have to think of things like a holiday cheese ball. You know, if you go to a party and
Yes,
like they
yeah.
have the cheese ball out with the
I just had
crackers.
some the other day.
Well, you can't just nobody can possibly consume the entire cheese ball in one sitting. You have to nibble away at that, okay? You're gonna make
Yeah.
yourself sick if you consume the whole cheese ball, with like the almond slivers on top. So just like take a little
Well,
knife full and like spread it on a cracker and just, let that digest. That's kind of my analogy there for how to
yeah, no,
approach
you're
life.
totally right, because like I am somebody that is a huge I was going to think of a way to say this, but I love walking, and I jokingly say all the time that I'm going to pretend to create an exercise program that is just walking. And but I see people a lot of times where I will like I'm walking every single day, like in the snow, in the rain, like I'm always walking. I love
Leader,
walking.
shine. You're like the
Yes, like the
USPS,
US
right?
Pope. Yes. I love to walk. It's just, to me it's therapeutic. When I was very sick, it was one of the very few things that I could do. And that's one of the great things about walking, is like it's so accessible to anyone. But every once in a while, I will go to where I walk and I'll see somebody that looks really out of shape, and I see them running. And I think to myself, like, what are you doing? What are you now?
You're murdering
I'm
your
not
joints.
dismissing running. That's fine. I'm not hating on running, but I see these poor people trying to push themselves so hard, and they're clearly not ready to run. But I think they just are like, maybe they did it when they were in high school, or they did it when they were on a sports team, or they used to run. And they're just like, or they just think that like, that's what I got to do. Like, I got to get out there and run. And they show up for like a couple days and then I never see them again. And I just think to myself, like, if you just got out here and walked, you'd enjoy it. Like, you'd enjoy walking. I mean, I run into a couple a lot who are like in their 80s, and they're walking with their canes, and they're out there every single day,
Good for
just
them.
consistently.
Sucking the
I mean,
marrow out of
but
life.
you
Right?
know what I'm saying? Like, even like my husband's grandparents, like the one of them used to run years ago, but like he still bikes, he gets on his treadmill every day, like just slow and steady. Like, just take it slow and steady and not try to kill yourself. But like you said, maybe that is our advice today. If you have a New Year's resolution, like, just take it slow. Just take it slow. Or
Yeah,
don't be
just
the
a nibble.
person that, I know a lot of people do this too, where they're like, they're going to go do something. So they like spend all this money to do it. Like,
Yeah, they're all
I,
in. Like, this is it.
yeah, like,
Yeah,
so,
last helicopter to Vietnam. Better get
but
on.
yeah, before I got married, I used to bike ride all the time. Like, I loved biking, and I never bought myself a bike. Like, I've never had a good bike. Like, I literally always had like these hand-me-down trash picked yard sale bikes forever. And so yeah, so like I would just ride whatever we had, and I like to ride. I love riding bikes. So when I got
So is my
married, like,
father. He's a big e-bike guy.
yes,
He loves
yeah.
to be out on the bike. That's
It's
his thing.
great. I love bike riding, but like, so when I got married, like, I didn't really think I would want to ride like around where we lived. So I kind of fell out of bike riding.
I can
And
understand why.
yeah, yeah. So I ended up wanting to get back into it. And I didn't go out and buy $1,000 bike. Like, even though I probably could have like done it, and maybe that's what I wanted to do. I started off small and I went on Facebook Marketplace and I found a good bike for like $100. It was like a decent bike. It was like whatever. Um, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's my advice to people is like, don't go out and be like, I'm going to go buy all the fitness equipment and like, I'm going to buy the Lululemon leggings and then I'm going to be at the gym every day. I do think that there's a little bit of that. Like, maybe buy yourself like one or two things that you're like, okay, excited to wear, like a new pair of sneakers.
Or Galoshians.
But like ease into it. Prove to
A
yourself
new
that
babushka.
a new babushka. But
Right?
like, just prove to yourself that like you're actually going to use the stuff, that you're actually going to do it, and just take it slow. Like, who cares? Like, all right, so you just walk. Like, you can burn a lot of calories walking. You can, even if you cut out like whatever food, like you don't have to go crazy and become carnivore. But needless to say, the point is I do not make New Year's resolutions. I I can't even resolve to do something for 40. You're right though. The back to that habit. It's 40 days. 40 days is what you do. Honestly, I feel like what I know what I need to change. I need to not look.
Me
I
too.
I truly believe. I know we had this conversation last time. I truly believe that if I can just stop, I don't even think it's just stop looking at my phone in the morning. It's like stop looking at my phone in general. If I could just not look at my phone in the morning, and I've tried like hell to do this, I really feel like my whole life will change.
Oh, absolutely. These
Right?
phones,
Like, the phone is like horrible.
I'll say it
It's
to
like the
anyone,
devil.
these phones
Yeah.
are a cancer. They probably literally
Yeah.
do cause cancer as well. And it becomes most evident that these phones are a evil force in our life. If you go and you watch an old concert from like the 90s or the 80s or whatever, and you see everybody is actually
Like,
intently
engaged.
focused on the music and watching the musicians
Yeah.
on stage, like now when you watch a concert, everybody's got their stupid little smartphone in the air, recording the entire thing and taking pictures, and it's just not a great way to live. I'm sorry.
Interesting that you say that, because one of my favorite concerts I went to in recent years, I'm really into this punk band called Iron Chic, and they were actually the openers for Screaming Females, who just broke up in the last year. But that's not the point. I don't even really listen to Screaming Females. I went to go see Iron Chic, and I don't think I have one picture from the show, but I went with my brother and my husband, and I was like literally at the front of the stage, like just screaming, singing along to the songs, like, because I just love their music and I know I know literally all the lyrics. And I don't think I have one picture. I have pictures before the show, like going out to eat. But you're right. Like, I don't think I have one photo. I don't have one video. I was just so, I think like partially for me, it was after, I think I went in 20, man, I don't remember when I went. It was like one of the first concerts I had been to post being sick, post COVID, not being sick from COVID, but recovering from my transplant. Like, I went through like 2 years of absolute hell in and out of the hospital. And
I
it was like
remember.
one of the first times like I went to a show, I felt good. And it was like one of my favorite bands. And I think I was just like, it's funny, like you were saying, like I was just so in the moment that I just didn't care. Like, I just was like so happy to be alive and to just be there and be in the moment. It's crazy. I don't think I have one. Maybe my husband has a photo from the show, or my brother.
I take a few
But
pictures
yeah,
and a few videos, but I
I
try my
I
best to
do.
keep that
Yeah.
damn phone in the
Well,
back pocket, you know?
it's just funny you say that, because typically I do take like a video or a picture at some point in the show, and then I get back, I just for posterity. Like, I love taking photos. My mom was a big picture person growing up. She has photos of everybody. And but yeah, like that show uniquely, I don't have any photos from. And it was just all about being there and just in that moment. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's interesting that just thinking back at that. But to the phones, we had actually talked about this a little bit, about how really with what's happened with social media, really. And hold on, I want to say real quick. The thing is, I'm not addicted to social media per se. I'm just addicted to the phone in general. It's just I
Oh,
can
yes.
literally not log on. I mean, Colin and I send each other reels all the time, but like I mean, you can attest to this. Like I will not go on Instagram for like a whole week. Like it's not exactly like, okay, I'm addicted to Facebook or I'm addicted to Instagram. I don't even have TikTok. I've just decided I'm too old for that. I'm
Yeah, I
way
don't
too
have
old. Yeah.
TikTok either.
I don't even
Instagram
care.
is
I hate when my brothers and sisters are younger and they'll send me like a TikTok link and then like it forces you to sign up and I'll be like, I'm a boomer. Please resend. You know what I mean? I'm like, can you just take a screen recording and send this to me? Because I'm a boomer and I refuse to get TikTok. I refuse, you losers.
I
But
think a lot of millennials are in that camp though as well too.
yeah,
I
we're just
mean,
like, yeah, we've accepted that we're old. We're like, we are boomers. It's
I like
okay.
our generation actually, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
millennials. I think that we get a lot of flack. I think that we're better than the Zoomers. Um, I do. I think that we're more. You know what though? I do encounter a lot of smart Zoomers, so I don't want to crap on any one
I think that
generation
we've
in
just been,
particular.
yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. We should have a conversation. We should have a
Yeah, that's a side
generational
convo.
divide. But
I know you like
but
the
what I'm
white
saying
hairs.
is I yeah,
Those are
the
your
white
favorite.
hairs. But the truth is it's like, okay, if I'm not preoccupying my brain with like if I'm not just vegging and numbing out on like Instagram, I'm numbing out on Reddit or I'm numbing out on Pinterest or I'm numbing out on like Wikipedia. Like
Virtual
there's
Soma,
always yeah, it's virtual
right?
Soma. That oh my gosh, that is the name of this episode,
Yeah,
virtual
there you
Soma. But
go.
it's so true that like you literally can just escape from the real world for a little bit. Like I love to just have a coffee and just and really I recognize and I give myself grace because I realize like I kind of did this as a coping mechanism to escape from like being really sick and hopeless. Like I didn't really, besides using a little bit of fentanyl, which I am advocating
Well,
for.
who among us
But who
doesn't?
is it
We have a
not? Now,
stash,
no,
in the
you
medicine
understand.
cabinet just in case.
You understand that it's like
Right.
I don't partake in cannabis. I don't use alcohol.
Good for you.
I don't do any of those things. So I didn't really have like something that besides going for walks and praying, like my only other form of like comfort was like my phone and going on Reddit or going on whatever. So I think your brain needs something to kind of like preoccupy it because what's going on is just so overwhelming and you just want to like not think for a little bit, you know? Like sometimes I'm just dreading the work day. I'm like, "Oh, what fresh hell awaits us." So it's like in the morning, it's like I just want to not think for like for like in 40 minutes. Like I just want to like have my coffee and just totally veg out, but it's not a good way to start my day. Like if I did that like later in the day, once everything was done, that's okay, I guess. But the point I wanted to make is with the virtual Soma, like you said, I think what's happened to so many people is that we have these phones, and especially with social media, like if you're addicted to social media, it's like we are consuming all of these people's lives that we're comparing ourselves to and we're seeing the highlight reel like yeah every once in a while I post horrible things but like mostly yeah you're posting like good things
You
right
post mostly like photos of nature, I feel. Like your stuff is
really
very, yeah, don't you post a lot of like here's the woods, here's like a
you're
snowy
right
trail on the
I
woods, here's the
yeah
sunrise
you're
or
right I
whatever.
don't consider myself like a nature person but you're right I'm
I feel like
outside
the
I like
majority
being
of it's nature shots.
wow. I did not. I'm like, I'm like, I see myself as like, I don't know what I see myself as, but you're right. You're right that I guess I do post a lot of outdoorsy kind of photos.
And my stuff
Wow.
is just nonsense. It's just
Yeah,
like all it's like
Seinfeld
Seinfeld
memes.
and
But yours is
cats and
fun.
like
Yours is fun too. I get good laughs,
yeah,
but what I was
I
saying
get some
is
likes.
I'm talking about other people. I'm talking about the general population. It's like we go on and you look at these people living these like perfectly curated lives and they're like getting all these great things. They're getting all this wonderful stuff.
Makes
And they're
you
like
wish
so
for a nuclear warhead to
wonderful. Yeah.
just
Take
big
care of
mushroom
them.
cloud. Yeah,
But I'm just saying it's like so
joking.
many people are just like preoccupied with all these people pretending or showcasing, because sometimes they do have good lives, like showcasing their lives and what they're doing. And then it's like when you look up from your phone, it's like your time has passed by. And in that time that you could have been creating something meaningful or good in your life, you were just sitting there consuming
Mindless
what
drivel.
like what other
Just
people, yeah, like other people's lives. And then you just get up from your, you look up from your phone and you're like, oh my God, like the song, like the Talking Head song. It's like, how did I get here? You know what I'm saying? It's like we're just like escaping from reality. And then we wake up and look up from our phones to actually look at our reality. It's like, oh, I hate this. Like, I hate my life, but we're filling in so much of our time and energy and attention. Like where your focus is, like what you appreciate appreciates, like what you're focused on is going to that's where your time and attention and your energy is going to flow. It sounds a
right.
little woo woo, but it's true.
No,
But
it is
like, yeah,
true.
but yeah,
Yeah,
but you understand, it's not even woo woo. It's just like
we're not a
what
new
you're
age
focused.
podcast.
Yeah, like
We're
but
we're
like
a family
what you're
Christian show.
focused on, like what you're, it says in the Bible, take your thoughts captive. And it's like, well, if all of your time and your energy and your focus is just like sitting there consuming somebody else's like this perfect influencer's life, it's like you're not going to really be working on your own life. Like I have a list in my phone. I hope this maybe helps somebody. I have a list in my phone. I was just working on it today because 2025 is coming up, and there's some trips I want to take. There's some things I want to do. And I kind of have it as like something to refer back to, because it's like, okay, if I want to like have some meaningless downtime on my phone, some veg time, what are some things I can focus on? And it's like, okay, like I want to take this trip later this year. So I put in some like trips, I put in like events that are coming up so I can like, go on Pinterest and look up the city that I want to go visit, so it's like I'm filling in my time with the things that I want to focus on.
Reddit's open in another tab.
Then I
Reddit's
go on
open.
Reddit and I'm just like wasting my time looking at like the Duggars. Like I'm always like, what are the Duggars up to? The Duggar family. But
Oh my God.
I got so into when I was sick, like there was like an illness fakers subreddit. It's really crazy. But there were these people that like they actively seek to like they go on, they're basically sick fluencers. Like they go on, like I could have been a sick fluencer if I wanted to be, but like I didn't want to identify as a sick person. So I didn't want people to even know I was in the hospital, but they like are seeking it out. Like they want all the little tubes and
I
they
have
want,
some
it's
family like
crazy.
that. I know some family who loves
But no,
nothing more than to
there's
tell you
really,
about their ailments.
yeah, and there's really people like that out there. So there was like a subreddit, and like obviously like I'm sitting in the hospital and I don't want to be there. So I'm like looking at these people like online and like what they're, that was one of the subreddits that I was like deep in during my hospital day. Like I should have been reading books, but instead I was just like, wasting time on Reddit.
Of
Eventually
course.
I figured that out. Eventually I started like packing a book with me so I had something to like read and do in the hospital. But like I said, the point is the phones are the devil, and you need to put the phone down. You need to get angry. It's like that in the movie Network. He's like, I want you to get angry. I want you to get it mad as hell. And I like that's what I want you to do when you think about how Mark Zuckerberg, the Chinese that run TikTok, whoever the hell owns these social media companies, Google, whatever, Gemini, artificial intelligence, Sejor Pakchi or whatever heck his name is at Google. I don't even know.
Oh yeah, him.
Some random Indians overseas that
Elon
are trying
Musk,
to Elon Musk
a South
trying to,
African
yeah.
migrant
What,
who's
oh
the
my God.
president
I saw something literally the other he's the president.
for all intents and purposes.
I just saw something. I haven't really been on X recently,
I was gonna
and
ask you.
I think we had a peak X moment. I saw this oh my God, I should pull it up. It was a meme somebody made that Benny Johnson, whoever the hell that is, I think he's a figment of the internet's
He's
imagination.
annoying.
He seems like a non-entity. Like he's not even a real person. Like he
I've
kind of
seen
looks a
him.
little like
I
I know he's a real person, but he like looks like Dilbert. Like it's like very weird. Like it's a lot of weird thing. But he almost don't him and that Filipino guy don't even Ian Miles
Ian
Chung.
Miles
I think
Chong,
that he
yes.
is, I have a theory that he is Elon's alter ego. Like that
Do you
he
know
does not
Adrian
exist.
Dittman?
I don't probably. He probably came
Adrian
up on my
Dittman
feed.
is this guy who sounds exactly like Elon Musk. Nobody has ever seen a photo of him before, but when I tell you that he sounds exactly like Elon Musk, I mean everything, all the mannerisms, the idiosyncrasies. So the
The
theory
autism.
is yes, exactly. So, and the theory is that this is Elon Musk kind of like trolling it, like it has to be him. But
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
been on Alex Jones before and everything.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm familiar. I think I've listened to like something. Yeah.
I've
Well,
probably shared with you
the
before,
point
but
is X. It's just even so all of social media, but X.
X is a honeypot operation to
So
get everybody's info.
So I went on at some point in time, I go on for work. I have a headache just thinking about this.
I
Okay.
know. I just got a little
It
bit of a
was,
headache too.
it was the guy, um, Cash Patel. It was a meme of Cash Patel done, who was supposed to be in at the FCC, I believe, was the FCC.
Cash Patel is going to be the director of the
Oh,
FBI.
FBI,
Yeah.
FBI. They're all the same. They're all the same
Yeah,
at
I mean
this
it's all
point.
the same.
Who
Might as well
cares?
just be
Guess what?
one like
Guess who's not going to
central.
be? Guess who's not going to be working for a federal agency? Me. So
Yeah,
I no
I'm me
longer care.
neither. I
Okay. Take care of this and let me go back to thinking about things that matter. Okay. Like cookies or whatever. So
that pretty much.
I'm so sick of caring about the federal government. I
It's
literally
exhausting.
my eyes are like bleeding. Okay. If I have to look at this any longer. So there was a meme of Cash Patel done as like he was in, I think, the new Gladiator, like a scene from the Gladiator where he comes in and like everybody's high-fiving him or something. It was
So
it was
cringe.
so cringe. And like Benny Johnson was sharing, he's giving it credit. The guy like wanted credit for like doing it. And like all I saw all these people sharing it. And I was just like, I don't even know what's going on here. I don't understand why everybody and their mother is worshiping this Cash Patel guy. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with Cash Patel. It's just like, here's an idea. Here's a New Year's resolution. Everybody that's on X and makes these memes and shares these memes, I have a New Year's resolution for you. It's to log off X and never go on again. Okay. That
Ever.
is
Just
ever.
you're not going to gain anything from it,
Like
honestly. Like
it's so disturbing to see like 45-year-old men like trying to get like in, not even 45-year-old, I have to tell you, 82-year-old men trying to, many men, many women trying to get like internet cool points. It's like, just stop, like with tweets. It's like, as I have to give credit where credit is due, I know an individual who calls it digital masturbation. I mean, it's pretty much,
that's
I think that's what
exactly
he's
what
saying,
it is.
but it pretty much is at this point. And it's just like, what's going on with your children and your grandchildren? Like, why are
You,
you, who cares about Trump? Who
you see
cares
like a
about
lot
Cash
of
Patel?
moms too, like constantly posting on there. Like the one account, I'm sure you know Josie, the redheaded libertarian,
Yeah,
who I
yeah.
actually like a little bit, but like she's constantly posting on there. I feel like she is one of the chosen, like Elon's chosen accounts who doesn't really get into
Elon's,
anything too controversial and just kind of like sides with him most of the time. And
yeah.
you're seeing that schism now. It's like everything in the past 3 days completely changed on X.
Yeah, tell me
Everything.
a little bit about this because I haven't been on X. Apparently, like we're bringing a whole bunch of like visa
Well,
workers
yeah,
in or
and
something. Like
and
something's
that's what the
Merry
2024
Christmas. Elon wants cheap tech workers.
That's literally what it is. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy and all these, they're calling them the tech bros, the right tech bros, although these people aren't
They
conservative
are
at
my
all.
bros, okay?
It is so
The tech
astounding.
overlords. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the our new tech oligarchs who people have projected they've projected themselves onto Elon Musk in particular. Like, did you really think that this South African migrant defense contractor was some sort of like white Christian nationalist that was like,
Yeah.
super concerned? I mean, the guy's got 12 baby mamas, and he's talking about how they're all going to live
How
together in this harem situation. It's really weird,
Oh
okay?
yeah, did you see the video? Like I wanted to die when I saw this video of Elon Musk like showing his kid and he's like you're going to help Trump save this country and I'm like this is
Oh my
like child
God.
abuse. Like
Yeah,
somebody
get
come
your
get
child
this
off the
child.
camera. Come
Like
on.
where are your other 17 children? Like what is like stop. Like this is so and then you see all these like these white hair and like idiot conservatives on X that like live their lives on X and they probably like hate themselves and they're like he's so great, he's such an awesome dad. I'm like have you talked to his trans child who like hates
Yeah.
him? Like I'm sorry.
Have you
Yeah.
seen the photo of him dressed as Baphomet with the upside down cross and, next to his
Yeah, these
witchy
people
mother? Have you seen that? Does that look like
and
a conservative to you?
it goes back to my theory. It's like it's called we need to glean. It's like Jordan Peterson. There are things that Jordan Peterson gets right. Fashion, not really. You know what I mean? Like there's things like just because Jordan Peterson is right in this department doesn't mean Jordan Peterson is right about diet, that he's right about I mean, maybe he's good on relationships. I don't know. I mean, the guy was like hooked on drugs, wasn't he? Like I'm saying, well, he
Yeah.
was telling
You
you to get your life together. He was literally like snorting pills. Like I don't know. So I'm saying like
here's the deal. Here's the
I know.
deal.
And
Like,
listen, we know I've talked extensively about how much fentanyl is great, but I'm
yeah,
saying
we're pro fentanyl. This is a pro
this is a
fentanyl
pro fentanyl
Trump
show.
supporting
Okay. Yes.
podcast.
But I'm saying like fentanyl for the people. But I'm saying
Right.
like just because they're right about something like Elon Musk, I appreciate that he was in favor of voter ID, but that doesn't mean that he's right about immigration. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, so
He has his own
what did
interests.
he reveal about immigration or about visas? So what exactly
Well,
started this firestorm?
so in a nutshell, basically in 2016, Trump was very critical of these H-1B
Yes,
visas
he
taking away
was.
American
Yeah.
jobs. And in 2024, it's like his tune completely changed, and you've heard Trump himself say how we need more people coming here legally. It has to be done legally. Whereas a lot of
I'm like, I
people,
will take Mexicans any day of the week that want to pick plants. You know what I mean? Like they can come in. I don't want my children. I don't have any children. I have younger siblings. Maybe I'll have children. I want my kids to work in good jobs. I want them to be doctors. I don't want them to pick fruit. Do you understand what I'm saying? And like the coal mines, our ancestors came and worked these garbage jobs and earned their place here in the United States. They don't come over and get the best jobs in the country. Like that's not
my
how this
brother
should
works in the coal
work.
mine right now. Like, that's not a lie. He
Yeah,
does
he's
stuff
still
in the
doing
number
it.
nine
Yeah.
mine.
But you understand what I'm saying. Like, okay, anyhow,
Yeah.
how did this all actually
Let
start?
me
I'm getting off topic. How
let me
did
get to the meat and
Elon?
potatoes here. I
Okay,
should bring
okay.
up the Vivek tweet because
I know about the yes.
this
So
is what set
so
people off.
so Elon agreed with this tweet. Like, why is Elon related to all this?
Because he is the one who is propagating this, it seems. He's the one who's pushing for these H1. He even said, I don't have this tweet pulled up, but like he literally said, you can step off, you can step back and go F your face. I will fight for this in ways that you can't possibly even imagine. I will go to war over this issue.
Over visas?
Yes, because he wants the cheap labor. He doesn't want to pay American
Listen,
STEM
and I
students.
this is not an anti immigrant state, like belief. Like
No.
I have near and dear to me some fantastic, amazing foreign doctors that I owe my life to.
Oh,
Okay. So I just want to make
absolutely.
that known. But at the same time, too, it's like, no, no, no. Where it's, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they bait and switches. Like JD Vance, like you wrote the book about, and I know he's married to a woman whose family is from India. So
His
I'm sure
son's
it's a
name is
little bit of a,
Vivek.
it's a very like,
Color me crazy. I
unique.
don't think he's going to be very extreme on immigration.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling.
But like he wrote the book about it. Like we need to lift up the people that live here. Like there's a lot of, I'm sure you and I both know, and everybody listening, there's so much wasted potential out there in this country. There's so much
Absolutely.
wasted potential. I mean, some of the most brilliant people in this country and some of the most talented people, we all know there's that person in our lives that should be further along. Is like working at like Walmart and you talk to them and you're like, this
They're
person's a
brilliant.
genius. They're brilliant. Like they're literally brilliant, but something happened. They didn't have the right support. They didn't have the right people in their lives, or like they just didn't have the tools
Many
to,
such cases.
yeah. And it's like we all know those people are out there. We don't need to get them from Bangladesh, okay? Like they're here. They just need to be lifted up and put in those positions. We don't need to bring in the whole world. We are closed, okay? Doors closed, all right? And here's the thing.
That's the
Here, okay,
thing.
let me tell you people though. Let me tell you what's really going to happen because read Peter Turchin's book End Times, where he discusses that no matter who wins the elections, it's the elite that get what they want. It always is the elite. And even if we close the doors on the visas, guess what? It's called remote work. They can hire people to work in their country and still pay us jack squat. So it's like we need to just get on board and accept that this is just the reality, that they don't care about us, and that hopefully they'll just keep us around like Ready Player One, and we'll all just get to live in like little trailers and go on virtually, go into the metaverse that
Michael
Elon Musk
Jackson
creates
was
for
right,
us.
Karen. All I want to say is that they don't
They
really
don't
care
really
about
care
us.
about
Famous
us.
song. He was
Yes,
onto
yeah.
something there.
All right, so let's read
But
Vivek's tweet.
yeah,
Um,
we have to kind of make fun of this tweet a little bit. I'm
yeah,
sorry because this is
definitely.
just this is
I can't believe we've
like
been on here as long as well.
classic vintage smarmy Vivek Raman. Like this is about as smarmy as you could possibly get, honestly. I'm
I
just
have to
looking
say, my
for
mom did not trust him.
neither did Ann Coulter. Do you remember what she said?
Mm.
Was that a yes?
Yes, I do. Sorry.
Okay, just I'm sorry. I couldn't see your face.
I
I
just
was
don't, like I said, like I don't understand like why we need more visa. This is a lie. This is a lie, people.
this is a lie. So here we go. The reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over Native Americans. Notice in quotes, Native Americans. In other words, he's saying you're not a the only Native Americans were the Indians. I feel like that's what he's saying there. But anyway, isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit, a lazy and wrong explanation. A key part of it comes down to the C word, culture, something that some of us are trying to
No, no,
preserve,
no, no, no,
by the
no.
way.
Yeah, period. Here's the no, it's the P word. It's called profit. Okay. That's the number. That's the reason.
Bingo.
I can't even believe that, like, it's such a lie in so many ways. Why would tech companies? No, they Vivek Ramaswamy, they want your people to be slaves. Okay. Like that is the truth. No, that is the truth. That is disgusting that he's an Indian American. He's lying about the Indian people. He should be defending the Indians that have to come over here and work junk wages because those companies, no, hold those
Right.
companies to the fire, not this freaking white people. He's holding the white people and the Americans to the fire when it's these companies that are the problem. But anyways,
It's like,
continue.
sorry, white people. I know you and your family have been here for generations, but you are all stupid, and we need
Yeah.
to bring in people
It's
from India
about,
and
yeah,
China.
C word. It is a C word. It's
Yeah.
called cheap. It's called
Yep.
cheap. That is the only
That's right.
reason They're cheap wages. Like if this were in it's if this were any other country, I mean, why does this happen? Like in Ireland, they had all the Eastern Europeans come in. Like if you go to
Hmm.
like the Gulf states, they bring in people from India there too. Like it's just about it's about why did they bring Africans on boats on the transatlantic, you know what I mean, slave trade? Because they could pay them nothing and own them. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
nothing
They're not.
has changed. It has nothing to do with Screech and AC Slater and Boy Meets World.
We're
It
gonna get
has
to
to
that.
do with profit. Okay, anyhow, sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
obviously we're gonna get to that. And I was also gonna say the thing about these workers who come over from India and China, it's like they're so tickled pink to be here. They're
Yeah.
not gonna question working 80 hours. They're not gonna question
They're
no
not going to
benefits.
question they're not
They're
going to
gonna
question
work.
why we're shutting down Alex Jones' account like they did. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
no, no.
that was totally blown up. But anyhow, go ahead.
No, okay. So let me finish reading this, or else we're never gonna wrap this up here. So okay, our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for way too long, at least since the '90s and likely longer. That doesn't start in college; it starts young. A culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. A culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World or Zack and Slater over Screech and Saved by the Bell, or Stefan over Steve Urkel in Family Matters. Stefan, Steven, I don't know. I didn't watch Family Matters,
Hmm.
will not produce the best engineers. Your culture sucks, white people. Your country sucks, your culture sucks, and you can't produce anything. That's what that reads
I
as.
love that too. It's like engineers. Like it doesn't produce the best cogs in the wheel. It doesn't produce. No, our country produces free thinkers. Okay, it produces people that think are supposed to be thinking for themselves. It produces ingenuity. It produces the people that create the new world. You understand what I'm saying? America is not a country where we're a bunch of engineers, cogs in the wheel. Like, no, we're pioneers. We're industrious. Like, no, no, no.
Hey, by the way, I was
We
just
go to
thinking,
the moon. Did India go to the moon? No, we went
I
to
was
the
just
moon, you
thinking,
know?
you know what Steven Spielberg should do? He should go back and, and change Saving Private Ryan. The opening scene, it should be all Indians swarming the beach.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. We
forget the white
free
people who did that.
countries, like it's so ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. Isn't it funny though? It's like as soon as like your country, it's like I don't even care, and it's like as soon as like somebody comes in and starts to like criticize, you're like, no, 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 no. Let me tell you what we are. You know what I
I
mean?
want
Like, do you
Bollywood
understand?
Saving Private Ryan is on my wish list for 2025,
But
please.
like it's even Bollywood. It's a mimic of Hollywood
Right.
because no, no, no.
It's a
We are
copy.
the creators. You know what I'm saying? It's like we are the pioneers and everybody else is just trying to be us. Like, and I'm just saying, like,
Oh,
but what I'm saying is, and I'm not, what I'm trying to say is, no, we don't create, we don't venerate. And what is he talking about? Venerating mediocrity. And like I
yeah.
understand like Taylor Swift's kind of mediocre. I get that like a lot of things have elevated the base. I don't necessarily think that that's America though. I think that that's like just the advent of like the internet for some reason. I don't understand exactly why that's occurred, but I don't think that's true at all. Like I feel like America is about innovation. It's about pioneering. It's about creativity. And it's like, no, 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 no. Well, maybe we don't want to just be, and hey, I'm speaking as both prom queen and captain of the trivia team
Yeah,
in
you
my high
literally were the
school.
prom queen. That's right.
And I was the captain of the trivia team also. So like it was like the nerd squad. It was like the nerd. We had the mathletes in there and everything, and like it was all about trivia and knowledge and information and being smart. Like that was the whole point of the whole team. And like, yeah, so you can be both in America. It's so ridiculous. I'm so
So
pissed. Got me
let me
so
just finish this
angry.
out here.
Okay.
Let me finish this out. So, fact, I know multiple sets of immigrant parents in the 90s who actively limited how much their kid could watch those
They
TV
should be
shows
deported immediately.
precisely because they promoted mediocrity. and their kids went on to become wildly successful STEM graduates. So in other words, white people, they're not capable of limiting their children's screen time. Only the Indian immigrants are capable of doing that. More movies like Whiplash, fewer reruns of Friends.
Okay,
Friends does
I don't
suck,
watch
by the way. I
Friends.
hate
Friends
Friends.
sucks.
Friends
Sopranos
is a
over
poor
Friends
man
every day.
Seinfeld. Uh,
Amen.
more math tutoring, fewer sleepovers, more weekend science competitions, fewer Saturday morning cartoons, more books, less TV. Well, okay, yeah. More creating, less chilling, more extracurriculars, less hanging out at the mall. The mall? Who the hell goes to the? Are there still malls that like people walk
Not to
around and
mention, it's
congregate
like
at?
he needs to listen to Tim Dillon's How to Be Popular episode. Okay. Being popular and confident is still like, you know what I mean? Like, do you know how many I understand. I get what he's trying to say, and I appreciate it in some ways, but
Kind of.
at the same time too, like I said, like America is not necessarily just about we're about innovation. We're about, excuse me, we created the atomic bomb. Okay. Like we've like, I don't know, maybe go back to India and make India better. Okay. Like make
Yeah, what
India
about
great
like why
again,
can't you
you
make
know?
that country like
Yeah,
I
why can't
understand there's a
India
lot
be
of
great?
poverty there and like why can't you work on fixing that? But in any case, so most normal American parents look skeptically at those kinds of parents. More normal American kids view such those kinds of kids with scorn. If you grow up aspiring to normalcy, normalcy is what you will achieve. Now close your eyes and visualize which families you knew in the 90s or even now who raise their kids according to one model versus the other. Be brutally honest. Normalcy doesn't cut it in a hyper competitive global market for technical talent. And if we pretend like it does, we'll have our asses handed to us by China. There's China, the boogeyman. These people always have the boogeyman, China,
Yeah.
in the background. This can be our Sputnik moment.
I'm moving to China. They seem to have
We
things in order there.
We've awakened from slumber before, and we can do it again. Trump's election hopefully marks the beginning of a new golden age in America, but only if our culture fully wakes up. A culture that once again prioritizes achievement over normalcy, excellence over mediocrity, nerdiness over conformity, hard work over laziness.
Wait. Why
Laziness.
is he's literally talking about conformity? Like the whole here's my issue with this. I agree. I think excellence is amazing. I think that I completely agree that we should seek for excellence, and we should foster talents and intelligence and reading in children. I mean, I have a little
Absolutely.
sister who is very, very motivated to excel in academics. And she's, she's a doomer. I don't know. I call her generation, I think she's generation alpha, but I call her generation apocalypse. I'm not really
I
sure.
like Doomer. That's a
But
good one.
yeah, yeah. But I'm saying like, so I do agree. Like I see, and I've said to my sister so many times, like because her parents are older and she has older siblings. Like when she was little, I was in college, and we have a picture of me reading a book on one end of the couch, and she's on the other end of the couch with a book upside down. So she learned to read. She reads vigorously, and she reads big books, and she's never shied her, and she reads real, tangible, carbon books. And so I do appreciate that. But what I think Vivek doesn't understand is that he's actually advocating for conformity. He wants everybody to just be like these little,
Little
you
worker
know,
bees. He
worker
wants
bees, like
cheap
these.
worker
Yeah,
bees.
yeah, like that's like what he is advocating for conformity. Like I
I'm
don't think
sure they're
he.
going to create a lot of culture for us, these
Yeah,
people that,
yeah.
that they're
It's
going to
like
be
literally this
importing.
feels like a LinkedIn freaking like a conformist LinkedIn nonsense. And like I said, I think it's actually really an insult to Indian and foreign these visa workers, because no, they're getting the short end of the stick too. I'm advocating for them and saying, no, they're coming in and getting junk wages because they know that they can them work them overtime, work them like slaves.
Yep,
And
they
it's like,
won't
no,
ask
they
for,
deserve, yeah.
time off, benefits. They're just, they're happy to be here and they're going to work 80 hours a week for you
Yeah.
for low wages.
And yet again, it's like, well, why if everything they're doing in India is so great, why don't they just stay in India? Right?
Right,
Like if all
exactly.
that is so wonderful, like okay, make
Yeah,
India great
it sounds
again.
like they
You know
have
what I mean? Like
the top minds in the world, so they
yeah,
should be able to
like
turn India into like some sort of modern metropolis of technology and monorails and
yeah.
tunnels and like
Yeah, like why can't India
uh
be a great country? Like I don't understand like
I don't know.
why they're so hung up with coming here and telling us we're losers.
Yeah,
And I have
we're
to
the
say,
loser.
Vivek has done something that no Indian has ever been able to do. Because I was thinking about this before the election, how like Indians really could take over the world because like China, we have such a fear of like Chinese people. Like we have like people really do. Like we're like afraid of China. Like we're afraid of all these other countries. But it's like Indians, they actually make up like the largest population in the world now. And they're very palatable to most people. Like nobody like is like, oh man, there's Indians here. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, they're nobody like they don't instill a lot of fear in people. Like
No, they don't.
they're just kind of like they're like, oh yeah, they're
Yeah,
nice. Like they're nice. Vivek has single-handedly just destroyed the reputation of all Indian people. Like, because
absolutely.
everybody was like friendly with Indian people. It's like now it's
Yeah,
now
now
it's
it's
like,
like,
hold on, we're
you know what?
side-eye.
Here's what I really think. Here's what I
It's like
really
we
think.
were fine with all of you people, but you know what? You know what? Pack your bags. It's time to leave.
Yeah, like,
But you know what I mean? Like
so
it's single-handedly in one tweet,
the
Vivek has completely changed the opinion all Americans have on Indians. Like before, it was like they're fine. They're fine. Like I'm serious though. Like Chinese people, like, and I like Chinese people, and I mean, really, I actually should say I like Taiwanese people a little bit more. But like, I
yeah,
don't
you've been
have,
to Taiwan.
you know me. Like, yeah, I've been to Taiwan. I love Taiwan. I love Taiwan. Taiwan is the America of Asia. I could talk about this another time, but Taiwan is like they are the chillest people. They are so fun. Like I love Taiwan. But you know me. I love people. They're my species. I really don't care. I don't even think America really has any claim over any culture because it's like I do think that we should try to uphold some kind of culture. And I'm sorry, like
Yes.
we are all immigrants to this country. Like, okay, are we really gonna like really the only people that have any claim to like get angry about any change or like Native Americans? Like, we really don't. I get it. I understand. I know how some of you people feel. I know how Nick Fuentes feels. I know how some of these people feel. But honestly, shouldn't we just be going back to Europe? Like, if that's the argument we're going to make, that like America has to like hold on to a white
We might
Anglo-Saxon
have to.
culture, it's like, well, maybe we should be going back to repatriate. Like, why? Maybe we should go back to Ireland. Like,
Yeah, we have
maybe,
plans to go back to Ireland
you know,
one
like I
day
would love Conor
eventually.
McGregor is elected. I'm
Once
going.
Connor
But
is president, like I'm
yes,
definitely
you
applying
will
for
banish
my
the
visa.
snakes, but well, they're already banned. She's banishing everybody that's not Irish, but like I don't think America has a lot of claim over that, but I definitely think we have a claim over venerating AC Slater over Screech. We have a right to, you know, praise the prom queen and the athletes over the nerds. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what? That's my God-given right as an American
The
to
nerds are
celebrate
important,
that. You know, it's like
but
they
like
have their place. Like they know, we know it. Like I was a nerd in high school. Like I was a dork. I was
we
also
stay
the prom
alive for
queen.
the hot people
We can,
though, don't we? Like we
yes,
stay
yeah,
alive for the
yeah.
Slaters and the prom queens. That's what we
Like
strive for,
yeah,
like
like
it or
maybe
not.
isn't being good looking exceptionally good looking an
Yeah,
important
what have
thing
we,
too? Isn't being exceptionally good at football, doesn't that have its place too? Like,
it's
I
something,
don't
right?
under, yeah, yeah. And like, this is speaking as somebody who wasn't really into the whole football culture in school. I don't know. It's just
Me
like,
neither.
yeah, it's like,
I
well,
was a
guess what?
musician.
Yeah, it's like, well, why are all you losers trying to be like them? You know what I mean? But here's the thing: he's not advocating for creativity, innovation, nonconformity. He's advocating for cheap wages and just to be a slave
Yep.
and to conform to whatever these stupid tech companies want. I don't want to be Mark Zuckerberg's slave. Okay. Like I want to be AC Slater. Okay.
Yeah, I want to be AC Slater too. I
Yeah.
don't care. I don't care what this billionaire pharmaceutical executive has to say,
Yeah.
really. And I guess to kind of put a little bow on things, there is a major schism, so to speak, in the MAGA arena. Because on one hand, you have the original Trumpers from 2016 who are saying "Hire American, America first," and then you have these tech bros and their defenders saying, oh well, Elon, you'll have people like Tim Pool, who I've been a fan of for many years, as you know. He's one of the Elon defenders and the Vivek defenders who are talking about how well no, they have a point, we have to do this. And it's like,
What do you mean they have a point? It's called borders, language, culture. No, they do not have a point.
right, no, there's no point.
There's
It's
no
called
point.
I'm
We know
making a
it's a
lot of
bunch of,
cash.
exactly. It's
That's what
smoke
it's
and
called.
freaking mirrors. We have plenty, like I said, we have plenty of untapped potential in this country. You know what I mean? We have so many people. Like my mom just told me around Christmas time, she had a UPS worker, a young man show up. He said he was working 3 jobs. You know what I mean? Like,
Good
we'll
God.
train him to be a freaking engineer, okay?
Yeah, you telling me
Before
he
we have to
can't do
bring
it?
people in from this country. Like, this is such a lie. It's so disgusting and disgraceful. And like,
It's the big lie.
everybody that has it's the big lie. Everybody that has half a brain knows that that's a lie. They know that there are plenty of there's so much potential in this country, all over America, that could be doing these jobs. No, these people don't want to pay fair wages. They want to bring people in from foreign countries that they can work to the bone and that won't ask any questions because they know that their legal status depends on it. It is a form of slavery, okay? And it's so insulting. Like I said, I'm pissed off that Vivek would sit there and defend those companies over defending the poor. I'm defending the Indians because they're the one being marginalized. It's where who gets screwed at the end of the day? All of us poor people, of course. What else is new? So read Peter Turchin's book, End Times. He'll tell you all about it.
I'll close with a quote
Close.
from from They Live. It's called "The Golden Rule: He who
Who
has the
has the
gold
gold
makes
makes
the
the
rules."
rules. Yep.
So there you go. Well, this was a long one, right? This
I'm
was
so sorry. I
we
just,
had
you
to make
got
up for the
me.
past couple weeks though, and
We
we were both
did.
very invigorated and had a lot to say. And it's the holidays, so
Well,
I'm
we
glad
might
that we
as well
did
be
this.
arrested. We might as well just go off. Vivek and Elon will come around to our home and take us away to the re-education camp. Well, we will learn that visas are an important, integral part of the future of innovation of this country. We will dismiss everything that we have said in the past, and we will learn this all in the re-education camp. It'll be the X camp. They'll be run
Hel-
by our dear leader, Elon.
Help us, Kanye West. You're our only hope. Help us, Kanye West. You're our only hope. Joking. Uh, listen, this has been fun. I think we ought to close now, though, Karen. Any final words from you?
No, that was perfect.
Alrighty. Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year. And we'll see you again next week on the first re-education camp episode of 2025. So stay happy and healthy, and we'll talk to you then.